I'm live here. It looks like I may have some individuals popping in on here. If you're here, you can see the chat on the bottom right. To check that out and type in there and let me know you can hear me. I hope that you can. If you can't hear me, you can type in the chat too and let me know that you cannot. Okay, good. Can you hear me? I'm gonna put this on. Can you hear me? Okay, good. It's working. My Pikachu cup.
That's Bubba's Pikachu cup.
It's my Pikachu cup right now.
Daddy?
If you're popping up here, I've gone live just to be on here for anybody who happens to pop up here yet. The premiere video is still actually going, so we'll wait till that's done in the next few minutes. I just wanted to be sure to be live. And my children have just pulled me up on television. This feels very weird. I'm in 3 places right now. Take that down. Take it off. Turn it off. If you are here already and you've tuned in, go ahead and say something in the chat box over there on the right. That'd be awesome. Looks like that video is coming to an end there, so soon. 3 people, I think, tuned in here. Don't see any questions popped up. I hope that you liked the premiere. It was pre-recorded and looked live. It was a fake live video. I can hear the live going. It's leaving. Mm-hmm. The premiere video was on YouTube right now. It's actually It's done, Ryan. But it will still be on the channel. It's called Sycamore Square Safety and Rotation Take 2. And it'll still be on there to watch, just like a regular YouTube video. And so you'll be able to go back and watch it anytime you want. Just when you set a YouTube video for Premiere, it sets it up. It looks like it's live, but it's just playing the video that's pre-recorded live. But yeah, it's on the Bartlett Woods YouTube page. It should be, it's published on there now to watch. All right. So if you're tuning in here, hopefully, I think the premiere just ended, and that premiere will be up there on there. You can go back and watch it. So welcome to the live. If you weren't here a second, I see people popping up here. So a second ago, my kids had me up on the TV, and so I was here and on the TV and on my computer, and I was talking on my phone, and it just felt really weird. So I hope that the premiere video was good. I hope that you enjoyed that. The PDF will still be available to download from that on the link description. And so that'll be up there. That video is going to stay up there. And then I can send it to you if you want it in another way. So any questions that you have, type them over in the chat box should be over on your right. And where you see Ryan McDonald has posted, you can post questions on there. And if you don't have any questions right now, but you think of them later, then that'll be great too. No, questions will actually be officially closed after tonight. No more questions. I'm just kidding. All right, looks like we have 3, 4. I can't see who the people are who have jumped onto this video. But if you have any questions, type them over in the chat box, and I will answer those. They can be questions about anything. It doesn't even have to be Sycamore. It can just be live questions. It can be questions about anything. I'll take any questions. This might be really boring. It's just me, just my face. I hope this is entertaining for you. All right, if you're just popping up here on the live video, we would just went up a click. If you have any questions, type them over in the chat box on the right and or at the bottom. I think it should be on the right for everybody, but it might be on the bottom for somebody. Hi, what is the square root of 500? It is the best number. I have no idea what the square root of 500 is. We'll get it. We'll get it right here. Square root of 500. We are on the interweb after all. Square root of 500. I'll save you the Google search. I'll do it myself. Square root of 500. 22.3606979775. Very useful information. I will not be repeating that number. Thank you for your question. Do you like my Pikachu cup? It's very special. I said this a minute ago and I got rebuked. No, that's Bubba's Pikachu cup. Okay, it is. It is Luke's Pikachu cup. And this is not coffee. It looks like I'm drinking coffee in here. This is decaf, cold, sweet tea. And it's made, I just did like 3 blasphemous things in the South. Or maybe not in the South, but like, it's decaf sweet tea made with stevia. Is that weird? A lot of people don't like the taste of stevia, but I do. Okay. There won't be any stevia on Sycamore Square, I don't think. Any other questions? I'm glad Kevin did ask a square question, technically. See another person popped up there. So if you're popping in and you have a question about Sycamore Square or anything else, you can type it in the chat box over there, and I will get you an answer, or Kevin will. Do you like these blinds behind me? They're like kind of like little tiny bamboo, but not really bamboo. It's like little stick blind things. Sarah tampered with curtains around here. This is, while we're waiting on questions, this is a wand that Evie uses. It's like a little princess wand because we don't encourage witchcraft. And this is not a wand. Does anyone know what this is? While we're waiting on questions, if you're just popping in, I see more people popping in and you have questions about Sycamore Square or anything else, type them in the chat box and I'll answer them. This is a piece. Those are great blinds. Thank you so much. This is a piece of our vacuum that sucked up this thing, and I don't think I'll ever get it undone. Our vacuum is called Dirtle because he's a dirt turtle, and sometimes Evie wants to kiss him goodnight. So I put her all the way down there, and she kisses him. Any other? Oh, we have 10 people popped in here. We're breaking records. If you have a question about Sycamore Square and you're tuning in, and type it over in the chat box on the right. Question about Sycamore Square or anything else at all, and we'll think about it, even if we don't come to a conclusion. Man, YouTube Live is not a flattering view. Look at this. Look how bold this razor burn is. Look at that. Oh, man. Yeah, I knew that. No one else but me and one other person knows what I was answering there, but I did know that. JK. Okay, we lost 3 viewers. Was it the razor burn? I'm sorry. All right. Well, I'm going to stay on here a little longer. If you happen to want to tune out, that's fine. If you're just tuning in and you would like to answer a question or ask a question about Sycamore Square, I'm taking them. You can type them in the chat box on the right. Otherwise, you can feel free to exit. And my ratings are going down as we speak, I think. So my approval ratings, that is, going down. Was the premiere, did it work well? Did it feel like a live video? They're supposed to kind of be like a hybrid. It's pre-recorded, but it premieres live. And so if you tune in late, if you click on the video, it drops you in where everybody else is. It's an illusion. We have 7 people tuned in here. That's a holy number. We don't need to go up or down. Let's stay at 7. If another person tunes in, I'm going to need one of you to leave. I don't know what else around here to show you. Oh, good. Felt live. Very exciting, I must say. I hope you mean the Sycamore Square stuff, because me talking for 47 minutes was probably not exciting. I also learned that trick, in case you're interested, for tech reasons. On my Mac, if you have a MacBook, you can record your screen. I did not know that, but you can like pull up your screen with like Shift Command 5 and you can record, and just whatever you're doing on your screen, it makes a video of it. It's cool. I actually didn't use that. In the end, I ended up using QuickTime. It does the same thing. So if you ever need to record your screen, it worked. All right. Well, if you're just popping in and you have a question about Sycamore Square or anything else, you can type it in the chat box on the right. Those of you who have stayed tuned in have heard that 100 times, but I have to keep saying it. I'm always wondering what it's like to be those guys who do YouTube for a living and just are live all the time. It's kind of strange on the spot. What else could we talk about while we wait for questions? Well, oh, I did find this in my pocket. It's a big piece of garbage, I think. This is from being washed. It's like a mega lint. I hope this is thrilling for you. Oh, here's some Sycamore Square stuff right here. Some horrible, rough drawings of plexiglass panel for the front of the airline, calculating up plexiglass panel. So there you go. Had some Sycamore Square stuff right here. Oh, we went down to 6. Oh no. Oh, back up to 7. There we go. We're good. We were only unclean for like a moment. Well, I could give you a tour of my house. Nope. Oh. Does anybody else sign up for Pinterest and just get constant emails from Pinterest about, like this one just pops up and I'm not Pinterested. It says grilling, funny photos, and other topics picked for you. I don't really even grill that much. I thought I might be grilled tonight with questions, but that's good. Maybe that means that I answered most of them. Or maybe it means you watched it and you thought, this is horrible. I have so many questions. I don't even know where to start. I don't know. Oh, we're up to 8. 8. If you're just tuning in and you have a question about Sycamore Square or anything else, you can type it in the chat box on the right, and I will answer it. Also, if you'd like to give donations, I'm just kidding. You don't do that. There are some of you do that. You can do that. I think you can set it up for donations. You watch your kids watch those videos of people playing video games. My kids do that constantly. So like it'd be just me up here in the top right screen, just. Oh, good question. So the plan is to start Sycamore Square in January. So the plan right now is I think Sycamore Square construction might begin before that. It's even, I couldn't say because I don't know what we're going to do and what the elders will want to do. But I do know that it's possible that we could finish Sycamore Square construction before January, and then we would. It's possible to just have regular classes inside those new classrooms, and then we would start the curriculum in January. But regardless, we would start the curriculum in January, even if we finish construction before that, because I would like to have the curriculum will not be completely done all of the years of it in January. I'll still be working on it, but I would like to have a bigger portion. I would like to feel a lot more ahead than what it would be within the next 2 months or something. I'm steadily building it week by week to have more done. I originally wanted to kind of break it off and to have like a big grand reveal to just block off the part of the wing that would be. Well, see, that's the thing is the whole wing is included in it for the way that this is designed. So you wouldn't be able to block off the whole thing, but because internally the 2 2s and 3s and 4s and 5s classroom, as well as the 2 nurseries, are not changing internally. So with the exception of perhaps painting inside of the 4s and 5s classroom, then the kids could be grouped together and meet in those classrooms if need be while construction took place in the rest of it. So they would get to see the outer facades of those classrooms, but it would kind of be like a little taste of what everything else would be, and then everything else would be kind of a big reveal. And we could still do that. That kind of thing may happen. But with the fact that COVID has kind of, in a way, thrown us a little bit of a bone with the ability to, we're not meeting back there in that wing. So they can do their work and they can do it fast and not have to worry about trying to shuffle classrooms and figure out, when they can be working and when they can't. So with that advantage, I mean, it may be advantageous to go ahead and do the construction while we're not meeting back there. But then, so, I mean, it would kind of just be 2 reveals, they would, even if we didn't start the rotation curriculum till January, there'd be sort of a reveal of what the wing looks like. And then in January, a new, so it's kind of 2 new things in stages. So the new of what it looks like, and then the new rotation model in January. And so, I feel like it'll still be, and it still may be kind of a blocked off and you didn't see it until just now, basically, if we're not meeting back there. So ideally it would be like Extreme Makeover Home Edition, and I would send everybody to Disney World for several months, and then you would come back and it would be done. Any other questions about Sycamore Square? If you're tuning in and you have a question, you can type it in the chat box on the right. I have more of my stevia tea. What else could we talk about? There's these cups we got the kids. You can get these cups. There's like a straw built into the cup here. Kind of cool. Are you still going to be able to use classrooms on other nights like we have discussed? Yeah, that would be my intention. And one of the question Ryan asks, are you still going to be able to use the classroom on other nights like we have discussed? So I know other things take place in some of the rooms right now. The scouts and things like that, lads to leaders. I was talking to Drew Davis about stuff with the puppet theater, and then also I talked to Jeremy Manis about care groups and things like that. So yes, it still would be possible to meet back there, even though there will be the glass storefronts on either side. And the terminology by the way, gets confusing because I started using the term storefronts talking to Seth Reeves, and what I meant was the facades that look like little shops on the square, storefronts. But the name of those double glass doors is technically a storefront. So we had to switch and start saying facade versus storefront. But so the glass storefronts are those double glass doors that would block off the wing. And basically for me, I know that there was at one time talk about those kind of staying locked, even when we weren't back there doing stuff. And I know it wasn't originally, there were some former plans that weren't going to include the entire wing and it would have just been blocked off at one section. But with that intention, I know that there were other certain things that were going to be back there that would have been an asset protection issue. So having people in those rooms that could just walk away with stuff would not have been good. So it would needed to have been closed off. But I don't intend with this current setup to have anything back there that really is a huge issue like that. For the most part, I mean, there could be things that people could mess with. I mean, kids are kids. But for the most part, I think everything is pretty secure, and there won't be a ton of stuff that people would just be, there won't be a lot of asset protection issues. I mean, if somebody wants to pull up retro diner furniture and try to walk away with it, maybe we should just let them have it. I'm just kidding. But seriously, it's most of it's not going to be asset protection issues. So I'm fine with people being able to use the classrooms like that, especially some of the classrooms that would be good to use that I kind of have in mind for use aren't really going to have a lot of stuff in it. For example, Faith Builders and the FBI rooms, it's essentially just the walls internally that have a look to them. So there's not stuff to just touch and walk away with. And so, yeah, it'd be really easy to meet in those rooms. And then Jeremy and I have talked about care group stuff, and then theater, the puppet theater and stuff. And I have a couple of plans to toss up with I have to talk to the elders about exactly what they want to do with the puppet theater with the possibility of including the Lads to Leaders Puppet Theater within the actual theater room. Are there plans for members of the youth group to be involved in Sycamore Square, helpers, leaders, etc.? I would hope that they would, as much as they can. I know, obviously, I mean, it will conflict with them being in class. But if there are times, I mean, as much as youth group individuals, are involved in classes now, I would want them to be involved in those classes. I think, one of the ways they can be involved even in, and there's different levels of that. And I hope that's something that we can push is, if you sign up, maybe you want to full-time teach and you want to be the main teacher, but maybe you don't want that. Maybe you want to be an assistant teacher. Well, maybe you want to be in the classroom, but you don't know if assistant teacher is quite the level you want to be at. You'd rather just kind of observe. Well, that's something that we're going to need that's really important. And I've been calling it a sit-in. So far, we might call it something else, but because with the new safety stuff, there'll never be just one teacher in the classroom. And with that the accountability factor is very important there. So if we have a teacher that signed up, sometimes it's harder to, when you're trying to get enough teachers, to get enough teachers that want to be lead teachers and that want to be assistant teachers, but you might can get a sit-in, a lot easier. Somebody that's like, I'm not sure about helping to teach. I'm not sure, but I'll sit in a class to, if I need to go grab something and to provide that extra level of accountability. So, and so youth group members might want to do that. They might want to, sit in and just kind of help, and they might feel comfortable or feel comfortable being in there. I don't want to take them away from anything that Ben's doing, obviously, and I don't think you would either, Kevin, so I don't insinuate that. But one of the things about Sycamore Square and the rotation model that I think will be kind of neat is that there might be people who sign up to teach that never would have before, because they have a specific gift or talent that this allows them to use in a special way. So maybe they, the traditional classroom setting doesn't seem like exactly something they feel equipped for, but maybe they haven't really thought about teaching before, but they love to cook and they love to teach people how to cook, or they love doing craft stuff or building stuff, or they like drama, that's their thing. But they were like, when was I ever going to use that as part of ministry? Well, now they can. Now they can jump in there, and there's one portion of it that is still the review and the looking at the Bible portion of that, but it's maybe much more conducive to their particular skill. And there may be youth group members that are like that too. So I would imagine that there are probably some youth group members who do theater at school who would think, hey, yeah, I would like to sit in the theater and help the kids learn these stories by acting them out by narration and stuff like that. They might be a place that they thrive. Now, we're not going to turn it into a huge, smoke and lights production stuff like that. I mean, they're acting out the stories to learn and reinforce it. But that's that's an area some people really like and thrive in, as other people are like, don't you dare put me up there, so. Good question. Yeah. Right. We have 4 viewers. We're slowly losing viewers, but that's okay. I know that you have to go and haven't had just a ton of questions. So here's what it's 8:14 right now. I'm going to give like 5 more minutes. And if there are other questions, then I'll go over 5 minutes. But if there's not other questions, then we'll kind of close it down at 8:20. A term we use in Scouts a lot is too deep leadership. What does that mean, Ryan? I have a feeling about what it means. But I want it to be more than a feeling. Cue music. Cue music. More than a feeling. I won't put you through that. Actually, we're back up to 7. Was it the music? Oh, down to 6. Always 2 adults, like you're talking about. Yep. I was watching the training videos from Protect My Ministry today, and that's where they start. They start with the sexual predator thing, and start by showing you what the signs are and that kind of. I feel the accountability thing. Always 2 adults. That's one of the major factors in the sexual assault stuff. All right. Going to keep going. Like I said, I'll go to 8:20 unless there are a lot of other questions that trickle in. I'm trying to think if there was anything else I didn't put in the presentation that would have been good. It ended up, I thought I had gone a lot longer when I was recording, and then I was like, oh, okay, good. It was about 45 minutes, which would give us a little bit of time for questions. And I didn't mention all of the shops on Sycamore Square. I think, and of course, again, it's tentative, but the plan right now that I have in mind and have the mock-ups and have kind of drawn up, not kind of drawn up, it's all been sent in, but the infant nursery, Baldy's Barbershop. I wish I could show you a picture. I have an icon of a baby with one hair being snipped, which is just a barber shop is kind of a cool staple on a square. And I have a barber pole out there and stuff. It's just a really, it's a visually cool shop to have on the square. But then just the idea of the Baldy's. I was going to make it Delilah's Barber Shop, but then I thought, that's cold. Ryan McDonald, Adam Coyle and I have gone through lots of that type of training. So you're right, it's in depth, as well as Nick Womack and anyone in Scouts. Yeah, I'm sure that's a huge thing with Scouts. I mean, that's what you're doing all day long, and you have, you're not even just sometimes in, just group settings, like in a place where there's so many people, even though you're in separate classrooms at church, there's a lot of people there. And I know it doesn't take long for something to happen, but I remember with Scouts, one of my favorite memories was going camping all the time at a camp called Camp Dirks, and it was awesome. But obviously, there are a plethora of opportunities for bad things to happen. So I'm glad they stay on top of that. Couple more minutes here. If we have any more questions, you can type them in there. But Baldy's Barbershop, Infant Nursery, Tot Stop, which is a gas station. It's an old gas station look, like a rusted tin, and all the old gas station signs, Chevron, Coca-Cola, all that kind of stuff. And then the Tot Stop, the idea, parents can drop off their kids and refuel the Tot Stop. And then don't leave your kids at a gas station. Not a good practice. Maybe we shouldn't encourage that. But then the 2s and 3s is Preschool Park. And it will look like a park on the outside. My goal is to have it. You can buy a roll of rolls. You can have boxwood walls. And it looks like the walls are boxwood. They're not, but it's kind of a cool look to it. And then 4s and 5s is Jacob's Ladder Fire Station. And then the McManna Diner is where the rotation model begins. And that's the cook station. And then the Sampson Stadium's like a sports arena. That's the Create station. And then the Joseph and Sons Carpentry Shop, Sampson Stadium is the play station and not the console PlayStation. But the Joseph and Sons Carpentry Shop is the Create station. The Sycamore 16 is the theater. Then there is the Dove Airlines, which is the airport for the Learn station. And then you have Faith Builders, which is it looks like building blocks, like Lego type blocks. And across from it, across the hallway, is Faith Builders Construction, which is part of the tongue-in-cheek plan to outgrow the Faith Builders room. And then FBI is there. The FBI headquarters would be on the end there. So the Faith Builders room where it is now would switch. It would not be the end room. The end room would be the FBI room. There will be significantly less kids in that Sunday night 4th and 5th grade than there is in Faith Builders, so they need that bigger room. And the inside wall is not any shops or anything, actual places to go in, but the inside wall will also look like facades from Faith Builders Construction to BWKN. So the Bartlett Woods Kids News is going to look like a back lot. News station is there for that. And then the corner looked like a subway door. And then the restrooms looked like a bricked public restrooms place. And then a zoo and aquarium that go around sort of in the middle of that wall around the back side. And then some bricked buildings that have false doors that are either a phone box or a police door. No Doctor Who stuff here. No, the police box, and then a police door and a phone box. And then around that corner where across from the 2s and 3s classroom, the Sycamore Square Church of Christ, which looks like a little church building there. Could have done Bartlett Woods Church of Christ and done a little church inception, had a church within a church. No, but then around that corner, then you have farmland, which looks like a farm field with a fence, cattle grazing. Kind of looks like maybe like you're coming into town a little bit. So yeah, and then the goal is to have directional signs that at the beginning of each section of the hallway. So like what looks like not what looks like one of the green posts with the green signs going in different directions that point to the shops. And the goal would be to have that color coded so that there are patches that can be removed on that. And the 3 groups that are rotating, each are assigned a color so that it's a lot easier to remember because they're going to a different place each week. And even though they're told where they're supposed to go, it would be a lot easier to remember. You know, if kindergarten and 1st grade is red, and that's always their color, and we can have a chart to say that. Then when whatever side of the wing you walk into, if you look up there and you see the different directional signs and you see Joseph and Sons Carpentry Shop this way, and it's got the red square on it as opposed to a green square or blue square, you know that the one that the red square on is where you go if you're K through 1st, and those just have to be moved each week, which is something I can do or somebody else can do. But I think that would be a helpful way for them to just always sort of have a directional, at least one more directional thing there to know where they're going. And that will help greeters take visitors places too. All right. Will you and your wife dress like Green Acre? No, we won't. It's a very modern farmland. No, I don't think we will. But one other detail, and I hesitate to tell you some of these other things because it may not happen, but it is something that is part of the planning, and I really hope is something that happens, is that the floor of the back hallway will be replaced, and it will be carpet squares, and there are carpet floor, FLOR. They make these squares that are really neat, and you can do them in thirds, halves, or a full carpet square, which, by the way, carpet squares are great in that hallway because, you know, if kids mess one up, you just take one out and replace it. But the goal would be for it to look like you're walking on a street. So they make one that looks like a paved road color, and they also make them in a yellow color. So they can do a third square in yellow and make the little yellow stripes go down the road. So the hallway can look like you're walking on a street, which would be really, really cool. Okay, well, it's 8:25. If there are no other questions, then I am going to exit off of here. Thanks for your questions. Thanks for tuning into the other video. If you have other questions, let me know. That video that you watched previously will still be up on the YouTube channel, and you can download the PDF from the description there from the presentation, or you can just ask me for it, and I'll send it to you. Thank you so much.